hating. We're all about measuring how effective we are, and I've got some things to prickle about today on this one. Leaders find credible team data. 2. We have data on student achievement, but what authentic data do you have about your team? I'm not talking about a 360 survey, but a real data source with a practical and theory application. When we explore culture data with leaders, their default is doing a 360 survey. Yes, there is certainly a place for survey information. I do think, though, that the data isn't always strong data. It has biases. When they are anonymous, particularly, anyone with a grievance or an axe to grind just simply opens up. And yes, opening up and knowing these challenges is valuable, but we normally know them already. But when it has been in ongoing processes and the answers don't satisfy that member of staff, the integrity and the value of the data is actually thrown out by this input. And then those who are happy seem to just click and go if they do so at all. What better way is there to learn about the culture of your team? Well, there are better tools and better pathways. Patrick Lencioni has a number of brilliant tools. Read his books. They're on the website for you under the book review section, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. This book not only outlines the functions and dysfunctions of the team, but it also provides a test, let's say, of where your team are at. I call this the trust triangle. Foundations of trust, the ability to have conflict, levels of commitment to the team and the cause, how and if we hold each other accountable, and finally the focus on results. Imagine getting data from your team about this, authentic data that can be unpacked, and then learning together what each of these means, with focused learning on each of them, each element. Feedback on the core of our team and then building it. We focus on accountability and results, but often forget the foundations of those things that come before this to get there. Accountability and results are the products of trust, conflict, and commitment. Get authentic and valuable data, not just a statistic. Take the dysfunction test. Reach out if you want to know more. I can take your team through this and coach the team too. I am Lencioni 5 Behaviours trained. So doing this test to begin the term and then working on it and working on elements and then measuring again each term, what better focus and rich data could you get? He also has Lencioni 6 Types of Working Genius, and this one's fairly new. The book there is again on the website. This book shows a better way to understand your gifts and your frustrations and your team. It's a new approach from Lencioni, and there are 6 working geniuses: wonder, discernment, enablement, invention, galvanizing, and tenacity. We all have a level of skill and strategy in each of these, and in working through this test, we work out which zones of genius are ours. Usually there are 2 or even 3, and if we can measure this, we can put people into the roles where they excel. Surely this information is useful. It is deep, relevant, and valuable. It digs us into the realities of whether our teams work and whether we are leading them in a way to get the best from them. Are we maximising the resources we have? With both these tools, the data can't be left as data. It does marry data immediately with professional learning and a call to change, growth, and action. And then we can step into Brené Brown and her Dare to Lead and give the team the armoured and daring checklists. Let's just jump across and have a look at those. Here we've got the armoured leadership and the daring leadership. Are we driving perfectionisms and fostering failure, or are we working from scarcity and squandering and numbing? Or are we modelling and engaging in healthy, striving empathy and self-compassion and practicing gratitude and celebration? I don't know, setting boundaries and finding real comfort from those boundaries, being a learner and getting it right. some great checklist things here that you could look at to see and actually measure how well your team's working. Jump on the website for more of that one. Surveys, we just seem to excuse away the results too. And I can think in some ways of where I do that. When they come from hidden sources, and we can rightly question the validity and the motives of what's going on. When the data comes from a direct source, it's somewhat more confronting, affirming, and comes with an expectation to act. Of course, to do so, we need a culture that allows for this. The bottom line is, do team data and culture. We need to do team culture and data feedback better. Move on from the survey approach. Do you want to learn more about this stuff? Just email me. I love getting into this and I'll take your team through it. Ciao.